Really, Kevin? This late at night? Well, I guess gains wait for no mammals. Are sharks mammals?
Hey guys, it's Monday. Hope everybody's doing good today, and I hope you took advantage of a little bit warmer weather over the weekend, even though it was pretty windy. I wanted to talk to you today. I wanted to look back into the book of James. We have been looking at James in the devotional, but I did want to look back into the book of James today, and I wanted to share with you a thought from James chapter 1. James 1 says, in verse 22, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed." And he goes on and he talks about some other things. But this is a verse that you'll often hear at the end of like a sermon. And as the pastor is praying, he will ask the Lord, "Lord, help us to be doers of the word and not hearers only." And I think we all have a pretty good grasp on what this means. This is talking about any time we interact with God's word, we shouldn't just be there for academic learning and understanding. We shouldn't be there just to let it go in one ear and out the other. We should be there to do what God says, to obey. And there's a picture that James draws in the verses that follow that one of a person, a man. And I think he probably chose a man because it's very unlikely that a woman would do this. But a man who looks in a mirror just for a second, just for a glance, and just continues on, not even caring what he looks like. And I think that this is me mostly when I have days where I don't have to leave the house, and it's like, doesn't even matter when I look in the mirror what's going on with my hair, what's going on, if there's anything on my face that needs popping, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about, all you teenagers out there, or if there's something that needs to be fixed or trimmed or changed, or wiped off or whatever, and so James is saying that people who look into God's word and they just walk right past what God is saying, they're like a person who looks at their face in a mirror and turns around and it doesn't even matter what they look like. And that's contrasted with a person who, when they look in the mirror, they take the time to see what's going on and to fix anything that needs to be fixed. And so that's related to the person who looks into God's word and they take the time in God's word to understand what it's saying about them. God's word is being described as a mirror. We look into it to see ourselves, to see what needs to be changed, to see what needs to be corrected in order to serve the Lord. And so James says that the person who looks into God's word and they see themselves and they don't forget, they internalize and they obey what they are reading. James says, this man will be blessed in his deed. Can you imagine if I came into church every day and I don't have much hair, but right after I wake up, it's just every which way. And if I came into church and my hair was every which way and I had sleep in my eyes and all kinds of things, I probably wouldn't be respected for very long. People would probably think, he doesn't even know how to take care of himself. How can we respect a person like that? And I would not get very far. And it's the same with God's word. Those who look into God's word and they see the areas where they need to obey and they need to change and they need to update, and see if there's anything that needs to be trimmed out and see if there's anything that needs to be added on to their life in order to live a life of obedience. James says that person is going to prosper. That person will be blessed in his deed. So this challenge falls to us as we have opportunity daily to look into God's word. And as we have opportunity daily to consider what he says and to consider our own lives and how they match up with the perfect law of liberty, is how James describes it. And it's our responsibility every day. I have devotionals for you. You have Bible reading that you're required to do for the program, but you probably maybe do some other things too. You have Bible class. We have messages, right now online, but usually in person. And we have all these opportunities where we look into the perfect law of liberty. And it's up to us to decide, I'm not going to be a forgetful hearer. I'm not going to be like the man who sees himself and just straightway forgets what manner of man he was. I'm going to look with intention. I'm going to look with purpose. I'm going to take the time that it takes to see myself in the mirror of God's word, and then I'm going to do something with it. I'm not just going to be a hearer of the word. I'm going to be a doer also. So hopefully that's a challenge to you and an encouragement. I only have 2 announcements for you today, but they're both important. One announcement is there's a brand new challenge for today. It's finally time to use those toilet paper and paper towel rolls. So if you've been keeping those, show us your best piece of art made out of paper towel rolls and toilet paper rolls. Now, if you don't have too many, it doesn't matter. It's not about how many. It's about how creative you get. And honestly, this is pretty open-ended. But just show us how creative you can be. Put something together. Maybe you want to put them together to look like a person. Maybe you want to put them together to be a boat. Any way you want to use them, just be creative and show us what you come up with. So we're looking forward to see what you do with that. Second announcement, big one, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., we're going to be having a Zoom call, and it's an event. And this event is called Quarantine Reboot. And so tomorrow at Quarantine Reboot, we're going to be announcing the winners for the quarantine activity. We're going to be announcing what we're going to be doing next. We're going to be talking about a few other things. We're going to be honoring some people for some accomplishments. And a big important thing about this is that we're encouraging 6th graders to join us. These are our kids who are going to be coming into the youth group soon, and we want them to be part of the Quarantine Reboot. So if you have a 6th grader sibling, make sure that they know that they can come and join us Tuesday night for the Quarantine Reboot event. And if you haven't participated in anything, come on out anyway. We'd love to have you be a part of it. We'd love to have you, help encourage people who have done a lot of work. And we also want you to know what's coming next so that you can be involved in that too. So 2 announcements, toilet paper roll challenge, and then the Quarantine Reboot tomorrow at 7 p.m. Today's the last day to earn points, so make sure you complete the challenge, complete the devotional, mark down that you completed this video and all of that. And thanks so much. Until we talk to you tomorrow night, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you later.